Hello friends, I am Dr. Suhas Talmale and today we are going to discuss some important tips for getting success in the CSIR UGC NET exam, especially for life science. Most of my students who have followed these tips, they became successful and they have qualified UGC NET exam. Okay, so we are well familiar, there are 13 different units, and keep in mind all units have equal importance, but no need to read everything. Just focus on any 9 units. Keep your target as only 9 units out of these 13. Okay? Reason, this is not the era of labor work, it is the era of smart work. And in that, you have to keep in mind, simply 9 units can make you qualify CSIR UGC NET exam in life science. Now, suppose out of these 9 units, 6 units are such that which are much familiar to me. But I have to select any 3 units which are not familiar to me. So, no doubt, these 6 units I am going to prepare in detail. But other than that, the 3 units which are not familiar to me, which are new for me, which are hard for me, I have to cover them also. So suppose I will distribute that the familiar units, I will work on them in the morning hours. Then the evening hours I will go for non-familiar units. Now keep in mind, you have to work simultaneously. Select a familiar unit, but other than that, select a non-familiar unit also. So morning and evening. Here your speed will be high. So while working on familiar units, the work should be fast and steady. But while working on non-familiar units, the work should be slow and steady. So daily you give some time to this, and in this way keep on covering these units also. So total 9 units of preparation will make you to qualify. Then don't refer any notes. Okay, many of the students, they refer notes prepared by their seniors or their other friends. But keep in mind, never refer any notes. Always refer standard books. Also, for 1 unit, you just refer 1 standard book, that much is sufficient. No need to go for 2 or 3 standard books for a single unit. Example, for biochemistry, if I am going through lineage, no need to read Stryer, Voigt, Devlin, so many books for biochemistry. Read any one standard book. If I am covering most of the topics through a single reference book, that much is sufficient, because if I will keep on reading only biochemistry, then definitely I will not move forward. I have to cover 9 units, that is our target. Then only mol bio is such a unit for which I will suggest you to refer 2 important books. First is Watson. From Watson, the diagrams, the diagrammatic representation of Watson are itself self-explanatory, and the description which has been given below the diagrams are more than enough. But other than that, I will refer one more book, Mol Bio by Upadhyay and Upadhyay. Reason, this book is designed in such a manner that most of the topics start with a question mark and ends in a question mark. Result of this is, it makes you to think, to analyze, and that's why most of the topics you can cover through Upadhyay and Upadhyay also. Also, I am giving more stress to Mol Bio, because Mol Bio is such a unit which is actually linked to most of the other units. So in plant physiology also, they can introduce Mol Bio. So they can give you a question, especially in part C, which is related to plant physiology. But for that, you should have the knowledge of Mol Bio also equally. Animal physiology linked to Mol Bio. Genetics linked to Mol Bio. Biomolecules linked to Mol Bio. It is well possible, and that's why read Mol Bio in thoroughly, especially from these 2 books, that much is sufficient. But for rest of the units, 1 unit, 1 standard book, 1 reference book is more than enough. Now, animal and plant physiology. Don't leave these topics. Simply reading 11-12 NCERT biology books will cover 50% of the animal and plant physiology. I am not saying 100%. If you want to cover animal physiology and plant physiology, which are 2 units, okay, amongst these 13, then for that you need to go for standard books also. But before reading any standard book, any reference book, keep in mind, go for 11-12 NCERT biology. Complete. Even if you have state board in 11 and 12, then also buy these 2 books, 11-12 NCERT biology book, and go through it thoroughly. 50% of these topics will be covered through this. For rest of the 50%, refer any standard book. But though other topics are also made easy if you will go through it, and these you have already covered in your 11-12, and that's why this part will be very easy for you, and that's why most of the units can be covered comparatively faster. Now, while preparing notes, just now I have told you that 1 reference book for 1 unit, and I won't refer any others notes. I will prepare my own, but don't make notes in form of paragraph. Preparing notes in a paragraph manner is boring. Also, it is hard to recall. So it is better, instead of making notes in paragraph, I should make the notes in the form of flowchart, diagrams, diagrammatic representations. Okay, that much is sufficient. And also, flowchart and diagrams will make your work easy. It is easy to quick revision, and that's why quick revision can also be done, and understanding point of view, such things are much better. Okay, so don't go for paragraph, go for flowchart and diagrams or points. Write down only points, that much is sufficient. New and hard topics should be revised weekly. Keep in mind, 3 units I have selected which are new and hard for me. So each part of these I must revise weekly. Even if you don't revise these weekly, it's okay, because these are familiar units to you. You can recall or revise them after 15 days or 20 days. But weekly revision is extremely essential for the new and hard topics. Now, devotion is essential. Keep in mind, NET is a tough exam, but it can be made easy by your devotion and hard work. And for that, when you will sit to study, you must sit for 2 hours at least. After 2 hours, your mind will start tiring. And that's why, to avoid this, take 15 to 20 minutes of break. During the break, don't go for gossiping with your friends or with your family members, because that will take much more time. Instead of wasting time in this, do something which is of your interest, like watching cartoon movies, walking for 2 minutes at least. That will refresh your mind, refresh your circulation, and again after 15 to 20 minutes, go for again sit for studies. At least 2 hours again. So devotion is essential. Now, let's discuss about something about part C, because part C is the one which is going to make your selection. After all, it's a 100-mark question. Okay, 4 marks on each question, and that's why part C we must discuss. For part C, don't predict anything first of all. That if I have gone through this unit, question should come like this. No. They can link 2 or 3 units and can ask a question which is mixed type of question. And that's why don't predict anything. For part C, what do you need is to solve as many questions as possible, especially the previous year's question papers. Okay? As much questions as possible. This will set your neurotransmission with respect to the part C. Because in part C, the questions are not straightforward. But you will start thinking in the same way in which the question is asked, if you will go for the previous year's question paper. Now, at what time I should go for that? So the timing of solving questions should be 9:30 to 12:30 in the morning. Reason, this is the timing of our exam. We are going to appear the life science exam will be in the morning 9:30 to 12:30 a.m. And if I will set up my biological clock, my neurotransmission during this time, okay, accordingly solving the questions, definitely my part C will become comparatively easy. So this is extremely essential. Set your biological clock accordingly. Then avoid junk food. Okay. Also fat rich food. I am not saying completely boycott it. Okay. If you want to eat, you can, but try to avoid it, at least minimize it, because this decreases your thinking efficiency. So your thinking efficiency will get decreased if you will keep on eating junk food or fat rich food. Okay. Then don't blame the luck. First of all, reason, you have 75 questions in part C and out of that you have to solve only 25. Choices are there in part A and part B as well. And that's why if you have so much choices, don't blame only luck. Instead of that, work hard and you should make yourself able to solve at least 25 questions properly in part C. Because part C is the one which is going to select you. Then, if you are unable to recall anything at the time of exam, don't get panic. If 2 or 3 questions or many questions in part C, if I am reading most of the questions I am unable to recall, keep in mind, don't get panic, because this happens with everyone, even the toppers. So keep reading the questions properly, analyze and find out the answer properly. And at least, even if you can solve at least 20 questions in part C, 24 are 80 marks are sure. And that's why no need to get panic. That is extremely important to control this panic. Don't leave any exam chance. I always suggest my students that never leave any exam chance. Most of the students, they think that, sorry, I am not prepared this time, so I will prepare it next time. So I will prepare for December. I won't give the June exam. I won't give the December exam. I will go for June. If you will keep on doing these things, that's not going to help you. Reason, go and give the exam. See the paper. Go through it. You will learn something at least through it. You will come to know that what mistakes you are doing. Learn from them, improve yourself. The one who improves will win. Keep in mind, the toppers of exam are between 55% to 60% most of the times. So, I didn't get selected. I got only 45%. 45%? You have to increase your efficiency to only by 10 to 15%. Even if you will increase your efficiency only by 15%, you can be the topper, you can be the rank 1 in the exam. And that's why, please think on it. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel, press the like button and forward this video to as much friends as possible. Thank you.